Hi there, this is Sarah. This video is about the difference between the sacred and the profane. So this is drawing on Emile Durkheim's definitions of the way to explain religion. Really is that sacred elements of our everyday life are the things that are, and he quoted, set apart and forbidden. So rather than life all kind of lumped into one, there are some of these sacred elements that are things set apart and forbidden. So we're going to have a little look at that in a bit more detail. So here we go. Durkheim tells us that, and this is what we call in sociology a dichotomy. So a dichotomy is two things that are broken down into, you know, two separate sides, and they can't overlap. You can only be in one or the other. Okay, so something can't be profane and sacred. So this is a dichotomy. It's a really nice word if you can build that into your vocabulary so that you are writing your essays using as much elevated language as possible. And in terms of sacred explanation, you know, the explanation of religion as being something that is sacred and it's set apart from everyday life. We've got Durkheim's quote there. It's also something that's in the interest of the group. So the sacred element should be universal across that religion. And it can include things like sacred objects, sacred rituals. So it's things that have a special meaning. And it's worth bearing in mind for your evaluation, but also to be aware, this idea of sacred has been criticised as being particularly Eurocentric. So if you look kind of across the world, rather than more at kind of Western European religions, then there will appear kind of more flaws in that as a definition. And then when we just looking at profane, so we can see kind of what isn't sacred, profane is the everyday. It's the mundane, individual concerns. It's the things that don't apply to the whole group of believers or whole religious groups. It's the ordinary, everyday things with no special meaning. So going to work, paying your bills, having your lunch, you know. But the minute that there is something kind of special and more applicable to the whole group, then that becomes sacred. So those rituals and those sacred areas may happen, you know, in amongst the profane, but there is a dichotomy of two separate things that can't exist at once. So there's your overview there of Durkheim's explanation of the profane and the sacred. So that's Durkheim's dichotomy. Cheers.